Hello and welcome to the help video for the Advanced Percussion module for the week of April 27th. A little bit of a shorter lesson this week and for the next couple of weeks just because we have those drumline and front ensemble auditions happening. So that music will get posted along with help videos for those on this Wednesday, April 29th. And so you can check those out. So that's kind of taking the place of your musical portion for the next couple of weeks. So we still have the technical and still have the sight reading, but the musical portion will be that drumline and front ensemble audition music. Once again, that comes out on April 29th, this Wednesday, and then 2 weeks from then on May 13th, that's when your audition videos are due. So anyway, so a little bit of a shorter lesson this week, a little bit of a break, and so let's get started with our technical exercise. So this week we're looking at our paradiddle-diddle exercise. The first thing I want to say about this before we get started is paradiddle-diddles are one of those feel rudiments. It's not something you can just read off the page the first time and get it exactly right. It's something that it takes a little bit of time to develop some fluency with. So do yourself a favor and start this early. I'm afraid if you save it for the last minute, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. So give yourself a little bit of time to get comfortable playing paradiddle-diddles. And I'll just tell you, for me, I mean, personally, they feel really, really good to play. But it takes a little bit of time to get yourself there. So allow yourself that time. It's just not going to happen overnight. So start early, and then by the end of the week, you ought to be playing these really well. So let me go ahead and play this for you, and I'll give you some other tips on how to practice it. So this is 140. I think this is a fairly reasonable tempo. If you want to go a little faster, a little slower, that's fine. Whatever tempo you feel like you can play the exercise accurately. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the time signatures are one thing I could see tricking people. Don't get hung up on them. There's lots of different time signatures in this piece, but really all they serve to do is follow the pattern in the music. So instead of focusing too much on the time signatures, I encourage you to look at the music and kind of go, okay, where's the pattern? Like we've got these 5/4 bars about halfway through. And if you want to, you could think of it as, the accents being on the end of 3 and on the end of 4 and get into those details. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's much easier to read if I just look at the pattern. And so, okay, that 5/4 bar starts with a paradiddle, and then we have a paradiddle-diddle, another paradiddle, another paradiddle-diddle. And so the time signatures all the way through, you'll find, are just following the pattern that the rudiments create. Same thing with the 7/8 bars. There's a couple ways you can do this 7/8 bar with the metronome, or the 7/8 section with the metronome. One way is the way that I did it, which is just to keep the metronome on quarter notes and just play every other measure off the beat. Otherwise, it basically lines up. So that's one way that you can do it. If you find that too much of a challenge, you can put the metronome on 1/8 notes, and those 1/8 notes can guide you through the 7/8 bar. But for me, it's easier to just keep the metronome on quarter notes. Okay, that's about it for this one. Now let's look at our sight reading. All right, our sight reading this week, Texas, Our Texas. This, of course, is our state song, and nothing terribly tricky in it, although I do want to look at a couple of things. We've got some longer note values in this song. We've got some half notes, we've got some dotted half notes, we've got some whole notes even, and those notes need to last the appropriate amount of time so that the tempo doesn't change. All too often we cut those longer notes short and start playing whatever comes next too soon, and that causes the tempo to speed up. And so pay close attention to the note values of the longer notes especially. Let's just do some counting on this for the first two phrases. So the tempo is 120. By the way, there's a repeated section at the end. I don't want you to miss that, so please do the repeat at the end. But let's just look at those first two phrases, basically the beginning to 8, and we'll just count through the rhythm. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's the first two phrases. And keep that tempo going in your head through those longer notes. I know that we can't roll or anything on our xylophone apps, but those notes need to be the appropriate length so that the tempo stays steady through the whole song. So have fun with Texas Are Texas, and good luck with your assignments. Watch out for those drumline and front ensemble audition pieces coming out this Wednesday. Look forward to seeing your assignments, and good luck. Thanks a lot.